Well, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Dragons. My name is Toby Vessels, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about a company called Bespoke. Founded 4 years ago in Japan, I'm leading the international business out of Silicon Valley. So at the heart, Bespoke is really a real-time engagement and measurement platform for the travel and hospitality industry. Well, wait a second. Doesn't everyone like those hotel and airports have the same data, real-time transactional data? And the answer is no. If you look at the current travel breakdown, current travel industry, you'll see that there is an imbalance. You'll see that big entities host a lot of people, but don't actually have a lot of data about those customers. Well, who could these entities be? Well, that's, for instance, airports. Tens of millions of customers. You look at transport authorities, you look at governments and cities who actually host a lot of people, but don't have a lot of underlying data, let alone contact information. That creates challenges, especially if you think about emergency situations or just on a CRM perspective. And I like to give you an example. Just about a few months ago, 2 of the largest typhoons ever hit the Japanese island and created a mass devastation. Thousands of customers were trapped at the airport, and because of flooding, there wasn't a way actually for service personnel to get to the airport. So you had these people stranded, literally camping out at the airport, and there wasn't a way to get service or communication to these people back and forth. It was a nightmare. Well, luckily, Bespoke stepped in, and I'll show you how it worked. Let me introduce Bbot to you. Bbot is our chatbot that is available to anyone with a phone. You ask Bbot a question, and Bbot immediately replies back. What's nice about Bbot, it also provides a channel to emergency communication personnel and others. Now, the nice thing about Bbot is it's accessible by anyone who has a phone and who doesn't have a phone. Connecting is easy. You don't have to download an app. You just connect to the Wi-Fi. There is no friction. We call it frictionless. You connect to the Wi-Fi at an airport. Bbot pops up and welcomes you. There is no app to download. There's no loyalty program to sign up for. There's no video to watch. There's no registration. Bbot is just there. In fact, it's so easy to communicate with Bbot that 25% of the customers that are currently traveling to Japan already use Bbot, which is phenomenal. That number is approaching about 10 million a year. Now, I want to tell you why more than 100 partners go out and pay Bespoke a monthly subscription fee to make Bbot available to their customers. Number one is customer insights. You have these big mega entities, and they're deprived of data. So customer insights, even if it's marginal, has a huge value. Next is InfoHub. That's everything you would expect from a really smart assistant. Fast information, different languages, ADI compliant, back to your customers. Managing crowds. So if you're in an airport, you can't really manage your security lines. They are where they are. But if you can manage your crowds a little bit, you're smoothing out your bottlenecks. That has huge operational benefits. And crisis management. So if there is a crisis, it's too late. How do you communicate with people on the ground if something happens? Earthquake in California, a flood in Florida, or something else. So Bbot is there. I want to give you an example about the customer insights. The way we engage is that we provide a service. Might be, hey, where's the next lounge? Help me understand the airports. And as part of this, we're actually surveying customers with questions that are relevant to a partner. So if you're the Los Angeles Transport Authority, you want to know why you're not taking the bus in the evening. And the reason might be, hey, it's dark, it's unlit. The reason it matters, if you improve your processes, and this is one of our partners, they're increasing, you have a chance to really increase your ranking with your customers dramatically. We're not only working with airports. We're working with governments who use us for crisis management. We're working with cities to fight over-tourism by steering people to hidden, but paths off the beaten path. Transport authorities to manage the customer flows. And last but not least, by DMOs to drive in-market spends, leading people to additional attractions they wouldn't have taken before. There's a $10 billion opportunity out there. We're uniquely positioned to take advantage of this. We have a proven leadership team in travel, tech, and transit, and we have a real differentiators. We're 100% on travel. We're focused on our technology that was developed over 4 years by 40 engineers back in Tokyo, and we're committed to privacy at our core.
Thank you, Toby. Grab a seat. Dragons?
So how is what you're doing different from other chatbots? I don't get what's different.
Yeah, so chatbot is our interface, right? There are many bots out there. You might think of, if you're thinking of Facebook, or is that one of the Facebooks? So I'll give you three differences. One is you get what you pay for, right? If you're not paying for anything, they're monetizing your data. Do you want to monetize your data and give data to anyone else? Second is scale. If you're providing a platform like an app, you're missing out on the people who are not on the app. If you're under 40, you're probably not reaching it with Facebook Messenger. And third is really the privacy component. So we are providing a service. This is your data. These are your insights. It's not shared with anyone else, and that has a premium in the market.
So the partnership is with the Wi-Fi provider? I just don't quite understand the technology involved here.
Yeah, so the partnership is with, we're a B2B company. The partnership is with, let's say, an airport or government who license the technology. They use the platform to communicate to a customer on the ground. So you're in Fort Lauderdale. The bot is available to tourists in Fort Lauderdale.
Through the Wi-Fi, though?
Through the Wi-Fi network, but can be accessed from anywhere else. It's platform agnostic. The nice thing there is that the real product that the partners are buying is the data, right? They need to know, hey, where are the people coming from? As this is a business leisure trip, what's the final destination? How long are you in town for? What's preventing you from taking public transportation here in Fort Lauderdale? And the cities and governments just don't know.
I get that, but I'm still a little confused on, you mentioned privacy is so core and important. I land, and now all of a sudden something is texting me. I don't know who you are, where you came from, how did you get my information, and who are you sharing my data with?
Yeah. So
something feels amiss.
So there's no data sharing. So what happens if, let's say you're in an airport or you're in a bus and there's public Wi-Fi. You're connecting to the bus Wi-Fi. And just to bring this out of, and make this clear, surveying customers on a bus, right, whether it's a paper or through the Wi-Fi, is a legitimate use. What is not legitimate is taking the data and selling it to anyone else. But that's not what we do. Right? We are just
license it to someone else.
No. We're just selling, using the data that is provided to you on the bus, and we're giving it back to the bus company. The same way a bus conductor can ask you, hey, good morning, how long are you in town for? Except we are replacing the bus driver with the platform on the bot.
You have a pretty big self-selection problem, though, because now you're only getting data and interacting with people that are signing onto the Wi-Fi, right? So if I don't sign onto the Wi-Fi at an airport, I'll never know?
You need to look at this marginally. Currently, airports, if you look at airports, they have this ASQ surveys.
Yeah.
Right? It's a manual thing. It's not flexible at all. It's also, they have a big bias there because business travelers are not going to do these paper surveys. They don't have time. So
they're also not going on Wi-Fi.
So the other point is, your self-selection is great, but you need to compare it where the starting point is, and that's 0. The airports tell me I have less data than my Starbucks. And what we do is, the same way you take a blood sample, you don't take this blood off the whole body. You take a little bit and analyze that.
That was almost as good as my dog bite.
If you did, I'm sure you'd hear about it here first at Phocuswright.
You know what? I just have to echo what Tracy said. You may not use anything with data, although as the Silicon Valley guy up here, I sort of doubt that. But I don't see how a customer wouldn't be just freaked out immediately. Like, I didn't install this. What's going on? Anyway, I mean,
I'll give you 2 sentences, Toby.
Well, so I think we have a selection bias as sitting on the stage, right? If you look at the younger audience, if you especially...
Now that's a good response right there.
that was good. Okay, you win.
Well then.
Well done,
Fair,
Toby.
fair.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well done.
Okay, that was...